My name is Svetlana Rudenko, and I'm a concert pianist and researcher on music consciousness and synesthesia. I have a lot of collaborations in the research internationally, and we had a meeting just before the pandemic in Moscow of International Association of Synesthetes, Artists and Scientists. And so I work a lot with artists and animators. For this project, I selected a composition, Brahms Intermezzo Opus 117, on which we had a project in Trinity College Dublin, supported by Federation of European Neuroscience and Neuroscience Ireland as an open concert, where synesthete artist Timothy Layden painted during my performance. Okay, at the concert, 3 styles of music were selected. It was Debussy preludes, Brahms intermezzos, and Scriabin. And the artist had 15 minutes for each composition, painting live, so the audience could see what the imagery process could be. So I have to explain what is synesthesia. Synesthesia is a benign condition where is brain wired cross-sensory, whereas, for example, the sound as a stimulus in one modality, sensory modality, gives reflection into secondary modality, such as sound perceived as smell or taste or visual shapes or colors, depending on what cross-links between different sensory modalities is established in the brain. Okay. So for this project, here is the paintings by Timothy Layden, and I decided to animate and to make a movement according to music in augmented reality. To demonstrate music consciousness and our imagery, what we experience. So consciousness is one of the most fundamental biological processes of the human brain, enabling us to be aware of ourselves, our thoughts and communications with others. But music and arts associated with alternative states of consciousness, it's a fantasy, and perhaps it has a big impact on mental health. It's quite new research, and so that perhaps by this presentation, I can make some contribution to this research. Recently, we prepared presentation with Timothy Layden talking for British Neuroscience Association, and here is his expressions on how he paints on music.
They can end up becoming almost like landscapes of lots of sound interacting in space. So there's a big difference between painting a purely synesthetic experience. So if I'm just painting the sound, I can get down to they can end up becoming almost like landscapes of lots of sound interacting in space. So there's a big difference between painting a purely synesthetic experience. So if I'm just painting the sound, I can get down to...
Now, technical implementation for augmented reality development. First, I experimented in Unity with particles effect, but I selected the painting as a marker, so it didn't go well. But I just play the effect here. So effects and its particles. So effects and its particles. Then the experiment was in Blender, 3D modeling some elements of painting, and so it's here. But eventually, to work it in Vuforia, I had to select AAT marker because the painting just wouldn't qualify for the high quality, so that the marker recalls the image, and I actually wrapped the marker with the painting, and then so that it worked. So here is its pre-final stage, where before the animations and the colors. And then yeah, so I press play. Yeah. So the buttons were on-screen buttons, virtual play and stop. Eventually, in the final stage, in the file that I'm submitting with it, so that it would be animation and recalling with the same buttons, animation and change of colors. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot to Connor, who was an amazing lecturer and made the course very engaging and entertaining. Thanks. And then yeah. So I press play. So we recall the marker, and so just this way, and so that press the button. There's animation and then change of colors, as this texture of this composition is not so contrasting, so just changing of the colors, only showing the shadows of different moods. This project demonstrates musical imagery and the diversity of perceptions, how music could be perceived differently with the help of synesthesia or synesthesia art. It teaches us creativity, and their augmented reality is a tool to add additional information and imagery to unfold the mind of the performer pianist. So the future in music industry, I think, very promising, because it could be implemented into music education for children to teach creativity and their emotions and emotional intelligence. Thank you.